Hi everyone, welcome back to the Potsmoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Christian Bible. I use the King James Version of the Bible in order to put together the prophecy of Israel, which is the book of Zion. I put together the prophecy of Israel by instructions from the prophecy itself, because Isaiah asks the question, who will put this in order for us, so that it can be plainly understood? And in another place, he says, precept must be upon precept, and line upon line, and precept upon precept, here a little, there a little, so that nobody can understand until the time is right. Well, that time is right. Now is the time of the prophecy. All of the elements of the prophecy are in play, up to and including the Black Lives Matter riot protests in the streets, which unfortunately Trump is turning into a riot. The Black Lives Matter movement is the beginning of the end of the American democracy. America will not survive Black Lives Matter. Or I should say, America will not survive Trump. Because it's not the Black Lives Matter that's going to undo the United States of America. It's the strong arm tactics that Trump is promising to use against us, which are going to undo everything in America. But it will not be a bloodless attempted coup. Trump is attempting to take over America. He wants to turn our peaceful protests into riots so that his secret police can take over the streets and he can implement martial law. That's what I foresee happening. Now, he's going to use violence to suppress a movement of American citizenry against violence. Because violence is all he knows. He glorifies violence. He is part of corporate America, and that is what he wants. Whether or not he succeeds is up to the American people. Now, I've been put into a position to stand in opposition of Trump. Not for the White House, because believe me, I don't want the White House. The White House is too corrupt to even try to fix. Democracy does not work. You see what happens when you use a popularity contest to determine governance. You elect an idiot into the White House and you destroy yourselves through oppression and tyranny. Trump's trying to take over America. He wants to be a dictator. And if you don't believe it, go through the videos of every appearance he has ever made since he's been president. Put them all together, and you will get the message plainly and clearly. I work for Putin. I'm taking over America. I love dictators. I want to be one. He's got his secret police in Portland. He's sending them, or has already sent them, to Albuquerque, to Chicago, and to other cities, Austin, Phoenix, all of them. He plans on turning the peaceful Black Lives Matter protests into violent riots using his white supremacists to incite violence. And then he's going to institute martial law, and then he's going to say that conditions are not right for an election. We can't hold an election. It will be rigged. So we're just going to leave me in the White House, and there you go. I'm a dictator. That is Trump's plan. If you don't believe it, just watch, because that's exactly what's going to play out. We can put, it's like Biden is going to be the next elected president of the United States. There's a 150% chance of that. There's no way he's not going to be elected. There's no way that there's not going to be an election because this is a democracy. And America will never become a dictatorship. Too many Americans have guns. Now, whether or not those guns are turned on the shock troops and a bloody revolution ensues is up to the American people. I'm offering an alternative. Whether or not I'm heard in time remains to be seen. Because I represent a higher authority. We should let God be the judge between Black Lives Matter and the United States of America. We need a higher power, and I'm offering that to the world. I represent the gray. The gray are here to help. They've taught me how to run a government without it being a popularity contest. They have taught me their form of government, a form of government that predates the planet Earth itself. It's tried and true. It will not fail because it has never failed on any planet that has ever been instituted in. And it's based on craftsmanship, not on politics. It's a social structure that ensures the basic needs of all citizenry, first and foremost, because that is the needs, that is the government. That's what it's for. On top of that, its secondary function is to provide the means for society to have an open market, a barter system, where money and profit do not belong. There's no money in Zion. There's only labor. You do your labor, everything you can have. Your hours equate to your ability to buy things. Craftsmen will still create things. There will still be a market where you can barter things. But it will always be a fair exchange because it will be a personal exchange between the two people involved. I will give you this for this if you will give me, I will give you this for this. A fair trade. If the other person doesn't like that trade, they're like, no, sorry, I'll wait for somebody else to come along. That's how it works. That easy. That simple. No profit. No money. Now, because labor is the commodity, we can have a credit, so to speak. But the credit represents the labor already served. You get paid for what you've actually done. No labor, no coinage. No coinage, no barter. No barter, no survival. You work, you live. You don't work, you don't live. Because you don't belong to society, because everybody in society has to work. That's how Zion works. And it's a peaceful nation. Because part of the social structure, well, the entire social structure, is to take care of the basic needs of the people so that they have no needs. Once your needs are taken care of, the only thing that's left is your wants. And that's where a free open market of barter comes in. And there's no violence. Because in Zion, we understand that violence is part of human nature, so we provide the means for that violence to be safely expressed. So we've come up, the Temple of Zion, we came up with a new sport to address this issue. It's called grudge fighting, and it takes place in your local neighborhood by your local citizenry. You know, it's kind of the gladiator concept from the Roman times, except for it's in the bar. So in Zion, if you have a violent reaction to something and you need to let off some steam, you go down to your local bar and you sign up for a match. Now, you could pit yourself against, say, somebody you don't like who's already on the roster. Now you can fight somebody you actually don't like to get off steam for something that happened that you couldn't deal with. But the idea is it's a legal mechanism to allow us to safely and legally express our baser instincts. And that's how Zion works. We logically design society in such a way to address all of our real concerns. We do it through peaceful means. Because if we have a mechanism to release our violent nature, there's no need for violence in other parts of society. Our sports is supposed to do that. But a vicarious, you can't express your personal rage through a football game. It doesn't work. That's why society is so violent right now, is because we have no safe mechanism to express our violence. So we need to recreate society in a peaceful manner. But Trump is never going to allow that. So we need to come up with an alternative scenario. And I advocate for taking to our tents. I advocate that we take all of our family members to the country and we set them up in tents to quarantine them in the open air and in the sunshine from COVID-19. And at the same time, to protect ourselves and them from Trump and his minions. Because believe it or not, it has come down to that. So, I suggest that everybody get your butts off the street before you get killed there. And come camping with me. I'm in York, Nebraska, which is called the Crossroads of America. It's where Interstate 80 and Highway 81 meet. And we can all go camping. We can take a stand against corporate America and against Trump and his shock troops. We can self-quarantine in families, in tents, safely social distance from each other, providing for our needs within our little camping units, including digging a hole for our feces. Because if we maintain all of our bodily fluids within our little camp zones, we can stop the spread of COVID-19 and at the same time protect ourselves from Trump's violent takeover of America. If you don't believe that that's what's happening, well, just wait and see, because it's going to happen with or without your belief. Because it's what's in play now. So, we're in for a bumpy ride. And I'm hoping that you'll trust me and the Gray to see you safely through it. So may the Gray watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy, pursue your joy, and be your joy. Help me build a better world. Know that I love you, each and every one. If you use drugs, stay happy and high, because you have every right and reason to. Just watch my videos. The proof is there. I'm going to say later now. Love you. Later. I'll never say goodbye.